At first, it looked like any other afternoon at the shops at RedBird in Dallas. People were walking through the mall, chatting, the smell of fresh cookies filling the air. Customers laughed, staff moved between the shops, and behind the counter at Cookies and Smoothies, Jaime Rokkett was doing what he always did, welcoming everyone who came in, making them feel at home. Then a woman walked in. Not just any woman, Rashonda Lowe. She was 43, a licensed therapist, someone trained to help people work through anger, heartbreak, and trauma. And she wasn't there for cookies. She was there for Jaime. She stood across the counter, and for nearly an hour they spoke. Their voices weren't low. They weren't friendly. Witnesses later described tension, confrontation, a weight between them that nobody else could see. Every person inside the shop felt it, even if they didn't understand it. Jaime was 53, a husband, father, grandfather, and community man. His shop wasn't just a business, it was a safe place, a spot where kids could hang out after school, where regulars came for advice or a kind word along with a smoothie. He had survived life's challenges and chosen to live with intention. When his relationship with Rashonda ended, he didn't lash out. He moved on, remarried, and tried to build something stable, something good. Rashonda was someone people admired professionally. Calm, confident, emotionally intelligent. She had a master's degree, a counseling practice, and a reputation for understanding people at their most vulnerable. But while she taught healing, she wasn't healing herself. And when the wounds go unaddressed, they sometimes turn outward. Their relationship had started with hope, two adults navigating loss and trauma together. Jaime had been steady, reliable, patient. Rashonda had depth, insight, a desire for someone who could love her children as his own. In some ways, Jaime met her expectations. In others, he didn't. And slowly, that gap started to grow. After the breakup, Rashonda didn't let go. The small messages, the calls, the attempts to reconnect, they became persistent. Eventually, Jaime's wife noticed. The patterns of harassment weren't subtle. A restraining order was filed to protect him, to draw a line between past and present. But paper only does so much. Emotional entanglement doesn't disappear just because there's a legal boundary. And on July 1st, 2025, inside that small cookie shop, that boundary would be tested in the most violent way possible. The day started like any other at Cookies and Smoothies. Customers drifted in and out, laughter mixed with the smell of baked goods. Jaime was behind the counter doing what he always did, smiling, greeting people, making sure everyone felt welcome. Then Rashonda arrived. Surveillance would later show her entering the mall at 2:35 p.m. She didn't hurry. She didn't look around. She went straight to Jaime's shop. They stood across the counter, talking. Observers later described the conversation as tense, confrontational, charged. Almost an hour passed, and then it happened. Somewhere between 3:50 and 4 p.m., she pulled out a handgun. She fired multiple shots. Jaime fell behind the counter, stunned and bleeding. She didn't stop. She stepped forward, jumped over the counter, and fired again, point blank, determined. Every action was deliberate, every shot personal. When it was over, she left the shop calmly, got into a white SUV, and drove away.
A store owner was shot and killed inside the shops at RedBird yesterday.
Investigators say a woman named Rashonda Lowe entered the mall with a gun and shot Jaime Rokkett several times. Fox 4's Stephen Dial is live with more tonight. Stephen.
Steve, we went in that mall today and I spoke to multiple business owners who said they were in there at the time of the shooting, saw the two arguing, and then heard multiple gunshots. According to court documents, investigators say the victim's wife told them that he had a restraining order against Lowe. The Cookies and Smoothie store inside the shops at RedBird was closed Wednesday, hours after it became a crime scene on Tuesday afternoon. Court documents say just before 4 p.m. on July 1st, Rashonda Lowe shot Jaime Rokkett multiple times in the head, chest, and legs with a handgun, then drove away from the mall in a white SUV. Investigators say there's mall surveillance video of Lowe arriving at 2:35 in the afternoon, and then the two talking at the cookie shop for more than an hour. Court documents say Lowe pulled out a handgun and started firing, then jumped over the counter and fired more rounds at close range. Wednesday, the shops at RedBird released a statement saying, in part, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic incident that occurred Tuesday at the shops at RedBird. This was an isolated, targeted event involving individuals known to each other and not a random act of violence. We will be reviewing all aspects of this incident closely and taking any additional steps necessary to maintain a safe and welcoming environment." Lowe turned herself into the Arlington Police Department Tuesday evening. According to the arrest affidavit, she told police it was a domestic situation with her ex and made a hand gesture indicating she shot someone. Detectives spoke to the victim's wife, and according to the affidavit, she told them Lowe had been harassing her husband and that he had a restraining order against her. Lowe is in the Dallas County Jail at the last check. She's charged with murder, but a bond amount has not been set.
All right, that's Stephen Dial outside Dallas Police Headquarters in Dallas. Stephen, thanks.
Look at the clock. It is 5:34 this morning, and we are working to learn whether or not a North Texas mall will reopen after a deadly shooting yesterday afternoon.
So police say the owner of Cookies and Smoothies was killed during an argument at the shops at RedBird.
Janelle Fort live there this morning. And Janelle, you just got some new information in the last hour.
Well, yeah, we just got confirmation from the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office. The victim is 53-year-old Jaime Rokkett. I've been checking in with Dallas police throughout the morning. I sent them an email about an hour ago. There is still no name released for a suspect, and they haven't shared any details about a motive just yet. Now, police say the shooting had happened just after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon inside Rockett's smoothie shop here at RedBird Mall. Sources close to the investigation tell WFAA that Rokkett had a restraining order against the suspect. They say the two got into a verbal fight, and during that argument, police say she pulled out a gun and shot him. Now, the woman ran, but later turned herself in to Arlington police. In a statement, mall management called this, quote, an isolated, targeted event, not a random shooting. They say they're reviewing their security measures, but stress that this could have happened anywhere.
Very polite, good customer service.
He was a super good guy, and our hearts really go out to his entire family.
Now, as of, when it comes to whether or not the mall is going to open this morning, that is still unclear at this point. But for now, this community is mourning that business owner, someone who they say was a friendly and a familiar face. Sending it back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Chanel. And one of the reasons why this is so tragic, the shops at RedBird has been a major anchor in that area, a source of a lot of the recent growth there. Developers worked to bring a mixed-use project to that area, rebranding the mall. The community adding health clinics and affordable apartments over the past few years, all along with the Dallas Entrepreneur Center's Innovation Center.
Later that day, Rashonda turned herself into Arlington police. She told officers she had just come from a domestic situation with her ex, using a hand gesture to indicate what had happened. The mask of the therapist, the nurturer, the healer was gone. Police recovered the handgun, confirmed the restraining order that had been in place, and charged her with murder. The footage from inside the shop made it clear this wasn't a crime of opportunity. It was personal, targeted, planned. The mall closed that evening. Flowers and notes appeared outside Jaime's shop. Simple words: "Rest in peace, Mr. Rokkett. You always believed in me. Thank you for your light." Customers, friends, and fellow business owners stood in disbelief. The man who had touched so many lives was gone. People who knew him described him as a ray of sunshine.
Well, tonight, the man killed inside the shops at RedBird is being remembered as a fixture in the neighborhood. Richard Solomon spoke to those who knew him and has brand new details from police about what happened.
It's hard to believe it happened.
Shot.
It's hard to believe he's gone.
You wouldn't expect nothing crazy or tragic to happen to Jay.
Brandon Dennison still can't comprehend what happened to his friend, 53-year-old Jaime Alejandro Rokkett.
Jay taught me how to...
That's who taught him what he knows about running a business.
Like do the print. Jay was like a mentor. You know, I never had a father, so for him to teach me things like that, It meant a lot to me.
Dallas police say the owner of Cookies and Smoothies shop was shot dead inside the shops at RedBird on Tuesday by 43-year-old Rashonda Lowe. And according to a new arrest affidavit, surveillance video showed Lowe talking with Rokkett for an hour at his shop when she pulled out a handgun and shot him. The affidavit says she then jumped over the counter and fired several more times at close range, left the gun there, and then ran out of the mall.
Shocking and unbelievable.
She later turned herself in to Arlington police. Records say Jaime did have a restraining order against her, but no one has said yet what the motive was.
He was not just a business owner, he was friends with the people in the community.
And community activists Allison Williams and Jeanette Berry say his presence will be greatly missed.
He gave to the kids, he gave back to the community. He just didn't work at RedBird. He was part of RedBird.
They say Jaime helped them with fundraisers and back-to-school drives.
We should band together more so in his honor to continue the fight and the work in the community.
And that's why it's hard for them to wrap their heads around any of this. And now it's up to them to make sure his work continues.
We're going to keep moving how Jay will move, in love and positivity.
In Dallas, I'm Richard Solomon.
The investigation confirmed the restraining order. Police had video surveillance of the argument. Rashonda's previous pattern of harassment had been documented, and yet no law could prevent what happened inside that shop. Restraining orders are paper. They don't stop bullets. This case is a grim reminder that sometimes even those trained to guide others through pain can't control their own. Rashonda knew how to recognize triggers, set boundaries, and manage heartbreak. But when the love she wanted didn't go her way, she allowed it to consume her. In the end, Jaime didn't die because of a stranger. He died because someone he once trusted, someone who once said she loved him, let her pain become action. The mall slowly reopened, customers returned, life went on, but the space Jaime built, the warmth, the smiles, the mentorship can never be replaced. And Rashonda Lowe, the therapist who once helped others process heartbreak, now stands as a stark example. Knowledge doesn't guarantee healing, and sometimes paper boundaries aren't enough to protect someone from the rage of unresolved obsession. This is Crime in Cold Light, and I'll see you in the next one.